Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to World of Warships. This is the Tier 6 Japanese premium battleship Mutsu, and we're on the scenario, the operation, or whatever it's called, Raptor Rescue.
Engineer に次ぐ直ちに空母を航行可能状態に修復せよ。アーセナルおよびアビエーターに次ぐ弾薬を補給し、ランナーに航空機を補充せよ。以上だ。
That's a nice touch that they've done to these operations. Depending on the nation of the vessel you're in, the commander or the mission commander is of that nation. Unless you're using the standard voices, in which he's just an American, whatever ship you're in. Unfortunately, this isn't actually a winning game, and you'll also notice that the game looks a bit jankier than usual. Yeah, a few technical difficulties were occurring at this time. For whatever reason, things were very slow, and then I discovered what that reason was. Let me just first shoot at this for Otaka. Shots out, 8 16-inch shells. 16,000 damage. Yeah, turns out that for some reason the game had set my graphics options a little bit higher than they should have been. I had trilinear anti-aliasing, whereas before it was point. What else did I have? Oh yes, I had post-processing on low instead of just flat off. And I recently just found this out. My Bandicam recording priority was on normal. So everything was running at times lower than 10 frames per second, whereas before it had been around 20 frames per second. Yeah, it's not brilliant, is it? But it's the best I can do, especially with this computer. Maybe one day I'll get lucky and I'll win an Alienware gaming laptop. But until that time, yeah, gotta cope with this. It's not really the quality of the footage you're watching, it's the quality of the gameplay. And there's my first kill. Miyogi is down. Coincidentally, I'll actually be killed by a Miyogi. That could have been prevented. I perhaps did play a little bit wrong, but really the focus of this replay is that Leander that I'm constantly trying to focus on, and the game keeps resetting my view. That Leander isn't in the spawn zone. He is not where he spawned in, but he has now gone AFK. And I hadn't noticed at this point. That was me using the free camera. Why would you move, I don't know, 5 kilometers and then just stop? I don't understand. Maybe he'd had some sort of family emergency, maybe he lost internet connection, or maybe he just stopped the ship and just decided, you know, I'm gonna have lunch now. Because we're gonna see him later, and his guns haven't reverted to, they haven't reverted to the sort of neutral state where they're pointing bow and aft. They're all still facing aft. Yeah. I don't know what was going on with him. The fact is, we have 7 ships, but we're effectively down to just 6. Which is not something you want to happen, especially in this operation. Hello Kuma, you should be an easy one-shot. Unfortunately, you're way too thin and my 16-inch shells over-penetrate. I get some penetrations, but annoyingly, no citadels. Yeah, even with these obsolete Type 88 shells, I'm over-penetrating. Still got some penetration damage, which I suppose is nice. It's a lot more noticeable on the Miyoko though, because the Miyoko is a lot more modern than a Kuma, and so the Miyoko can withstand a bit more punishment, especially from these obsolete shells. Yeah, this is why the Nagato got lost its old obsolete A-hull, because these shells, the Type 88 shells, are obsolete. They're only armor-piercing capped, rather than the Type 91s, which are armor-piercing capped ballistic cap. Ooh, lovely! Lovely shot. The differences between these shells is that, it's really in the designation of the shell. APC and APC-BC. Basically, the ballistic cap is the pointy end of the shell, whereas oh yeah, this is, but that's when I noticed that the Leander's AFK. APC is basically an armor-piercing shell, which means with an armor-piercing cap on it. I can't quite describe how that works, but basically, the ballistic cap makes it pointy. It gives it better shell dynamics, which means the Type 88... Okay, I'm waffling. But basically, the Type 88 has worse crop than the Type 91s, because they have higher levels of drag, because they're blunt rather than pointy. That's basically why the Type 88s suck. A lot of people have kind of been a bit vocal as to why, sort of argumentative over why Mutsu is at tier 6. They think, no, this ship can't possibly be at tier 6. It's not supposed to be. Keep the big 7 at tier 7. I think that actually the Mutsu is a lot worse than the Warspite. For one thing, it doesn't get the same crazy secondary range as the Warspite, and although it gets the guns are technically better on paper, they're not. Those shells, for one thing, and also the Sigma values are worse, 1.8 as opposed to Warspite's 2.0. Anyway, let's get back into the game. The action is about to really hot up here, because those two destroyers, I came here to intercept those destroyers. Especially that Mutsuki. That Mutsuki is a real pain in the arse. However, you'll notice that my team really hasn't done a whole lot. You can see that the secondary objective to destroy the aircraft carrier Hawoto, or whatever it is, no one's going to intercept it, meaning it should really be operating with impunity, but its aircraft don't appear, so I don't know. Apparently no one spotted it. Maybe it has to get spotted in order for it to launch its planes. I don't know. Annoyingly, the Mutsuki doesn't launch his torpedoes at the Bayern. Instead, he decides to launch one of his launches at me, which is really annoying. And yeah, although I may be using my Nagato my Yamato captain, the secondaries are just terrible. Seriously, it's because with the manual secondary skill, they only get their accuracy buffed by 15% on tier 6 ships, whereas on tier 7 ships, they get it buffed by 60%, which is enough to make a difference. Also, it doesn't help that Mutsu's her secondaries are a little anemic. They only reach 6 kilometers of range. And they're also mostly armor piercing, which really doesn't help. I launch a lot of torpedoes in this game. Only one of them actually ends up hitting. We'll be seeing that later. Angled targets. Kuma decides he's going to turn. I just decide to launch my torpedoes anyway, just in case he decides to turn back. He doesn't, because it's a bot. Bots are stupid. And firing secondaries at this Minakaze, but, you know, he's a lot faster than Amutsu. And so, yeah. Firing my forward guns, only one of them actually makes contact. Still, it's an over-penetration. It's not health he can spare. However, those enemy battleships have appeared. A Myogi, a Kongo, a Kuma, and there's also a couple more destroyers. I keep saying launch. I fire my rear turrets. I don't think I do much. I do a little bit. Fire my forward turret at the Minakaze here, and leaves him on 58 hit points. Fortunately, someone else does take him out. And there is the Ryujo Tatsu. And for some reason, I got the shot occluded icon there, but I still fired. I guess it just came up a little too late. I should have known that was going to happen. Now, by this time, we've lost 2 of our cruisers. The Graf Spee, and I can't remember what the other one was. I did see the... Ah, yes. It was a Furutaka. Yeah. A Graf Spee and a Furutaka are not the best choices of ship for this mission. I mean, yeah, they've got big guns. Lovely big guns. But really, if you want to take a cruiser into operations, perhaps you should invest in a Cleveland. It's a lot better. And there's our Bayern, and he's in a very bad position, and I decide to join him. Perhaps this is where I cocked up. And of course, I decided I was going to keep shooting at the Ryujo here, rather than focusing on the battleships. There goes the Bayern, and I'm still going to be completely ignoring these battleships. I do target the Minakaze, but really? Yeah, really, I'm going to completely ignore the Myogi here. Why? Because I reckon, I've got torpedoes. And look, I've got these, I fire those guns, and they miss! So, and then I just decide to not fire at the Myogi. I only use my torpedoes. I get hit twice by the Ryujo's torpedo bombers, and then I ram the Kuma! And then I use my guns on the Congo, and there I go. We just lost the Omaha, so we've only got 2 ships left, and one of them is an AFK Leander, and the other is an ARP Kirishima who wasn't any use to this team alive. Yeah. And Raptor's moving out, and this Congo, he's only here because he wants to get repaired by the Liberty. And the Raptor's moving out, and he's gonna get shot at. We had 6 ships, basically from the beginning. And it's all thanks to this Leander. I don't know why he went AFK. I'm not not gonna argue about it, but just look how many flags he's got. He came here for a reason. Is that the secondary flag? What's this MGT-20 thing? I don't know what it is, but I'm pretty sure he's got the secondary flag on him, which means he probably doesn't have a clue what he's doing. And yeah, it's no surprise what's happening here. Raptor is getting shot at, torpedoed, and Kirishima is just sitting there doing like, huh? What's going on? I'm more interested in this lemon because I am one. No words. Yeah, let's just watch Raptor die here. Getting shot at by a Minakaze, dive bombed by the Yujo, who still isn't dead. And there he goes. There goes Raptor, but not before his own dive bombers dive bombed Miyogi, who killed me. Any second now. There he goes. And would you just look at those results? I can guarantee to you that I was not expecting that. 208,000 damage. If this had been a random battle, that would have been my third highest damage game ever. Seriously, I'm not making that up. Top in experience, yeah. And guess who was his bottom in experience? Yep, that Leander. What a surprise. And there's just some of the damage that I scored. Just look at all that. 157,000 damage with the main battery, and about 20. What is that? 30,000 with the secondaries. Not the secondaries, by ramming. I received 75,000 damage overall, which isn't bad. But yeah, 47,000 credits on a defeat. For a premium, that's a little gutting. Though, yeah, it is a tier 8 premium, so not tier 8, tier 6 premium. So, yeah. There's that. Well, I hope you enjoyed that battle anyway. And this is the point of the video where I have to tell you that I won't be uploading quite so often. I mean, yeah, I already don't upload so often at the moment, but I am working on something that I'm working on something that I haven't touched in a long time. And I'm not gonna be telling people what that is. At least not the people who follow my YouTube channel. If you follow me elsewhere, then yeah, then I guess you will know what that is. But that elsewhere does not include Facebook. Anyway, I guess I'll see you in the next one, folks. And until then, have a good one. Good night.